Welcome back to another video. In today's video we're going to dive in and I'm going to give you my predictions of what the top 5 movies are going to be in the box office this year. Is Disney going to do the clean sweep? Is Universal going to jump in there? Is Warner Brothers going to be in there? Or is Paramount coming in? Or is there going to be another company that's going to take it? Well, let's find out. I'm going to give you my 5 predictions, and without further ado, let's get into this video. Alright, so we're going to start off with the number 5 pick, and it is going to be a Disney film, and it is going to be Toy Story 4. Now, obviously you've got the nostalgia behind it. Everyone, there's an argument that the trilogy of the Toy Story trilogy could be in the discussion for the greatest trilogy of all time, because it is that good, it is that well known and well respected from the fans and from everyone. A lot of people grew up with Toy Story, a lot of mums and dads watched it with their kids, so you've got the nostalgia there. It's going to be a massive movie, Toy Story 4. I'm pretty sure there's a lot of people that are very keen for this, and I'm predicting it's going to come in at number 5 for the box office, and it's going to bring, I reckon, it's going to get past the $1 billion mark, and I believe it's going to get around about, I'm going to say, probably 1.2 billion dollars in the box office. Coming in at number 5 is Toy Story 4. Okay, so coming in at number 4 is going to be probably a surprise pick that most people aren't going to pick, but I think we're sleeping on this movie. I just think we don't know how big this movie is going to be, and it's going to be Frozen 2. That's right, you heard me right. Frozen 2, another Disney film that I believe is going to come in the 4th spot. Basically, the first one was just absolutely came out of nowhere. No one expected Frozen to be such a big film. It got the audience that, the little girls, the little kids, the mothers, families all going to this movie, and Let It Go became a household song. Everyone sings it. As soon as you hear it, it clicks in your head and you just have to sing it. And I think we're really sleeping on this because the trailer was so good for this one. I mean, it even got me intrigued. And I'm not a big fan of the first Frozen. It's not something that I would watch normally. But this actual marketing campaign so far for Frozen 2 with the trailer now has got me intrigued. It doesn't look like the first one. It looks like a completely different type of film. But it's got me intrigued, and that's what the marketing is supposed to do. And I think this one is going to be bigger than Toy Story 4, and I think it is going to get to the $1.3 billion mark. I think it's going to be a $1.3 billion movie, and it's coming in the 4th spot. Disney with 2 already. We're coming into the top 3 now, and coming into the 3rd one. These top 3 could be, I would say, could be in any order really. But I think this one that I've got in number 3, I think it was hurt because of how split the other movie that just, like the big movie that just come out for this franchise, kind of split the fandom down the middle, whether people liked it or not, and that is Star Wars Episode 9. I just think The Last Jedi has just cut this fandom in half, and I don't see this one being as big as The Force Awakens, for instance. I just don't see it coming in those type of numbers. It's still going to be a massive film because there's so many Star Wars fans. It's a beloved IP, beloved franchise, and it's coming to the end of the Skywalker saga. So you've already had 8 movies of this, and this is the big climactic one that's going to end all the Skywalker saga, and it's going to be a completely fresh slate after that. And with the Mandalorian coming out, Solo was a great movie. There is a lot of momentum that this film does have. Now, I personally didn't like The Last Jedi all that much, but I'm still going to go see this. Abrams is back at their wheel, and I'm interested to see how they're going to wrap this story up and how everything's going to happen. And I'm pretty sure a lot of Star Wars fans are going to do it. And for me, I reckon it's going to be, I'm going to say probably 1.6 to $1.7 billion. I think that's the range it's going to come in. I don't see it crossing the $2 billion mark, and I just think that's the range it's going to have. However, if it is a fantastic movie and it's really good, there's a potential it might push high beyond 1.7, but I just see 1.7 as being the max for Star Wars Episode 9. So the trailer's going to drop soon, Star Wars Celebration soon, so we'll get some insight to it. and the title's going to be released, and then we'll get an idea of how it's going in. But for me, I think it's coming in at the third spot. So we've come into the top two. Now these top two, anything can happen with these two top two. These are probably the two that I think any one of these could finish first. And this is a tight one. I mean, I really had to think about this one. Which one is going to win the box office out of these two? And I'm sitting there and I'm thinking to myself, I'm really keen for both these movies. One I am super keen for. And the other one, I am very, very interested to see this and also very excited for it. But I made up my mind, coming in at number 2 is going to be The Lion King. Now, I don't think The Lion King's going to have the biggest opening weekend. I don't see that. But I think it's going to have the best legs out of all the movies. What I mean by the best legs is, people are going to go see it, and they're going to go, wow, that was amazing. Go grab family members or, your friends and that, bring them again. And that's what's going to happen. People are going to keep coming back, bringing more people, more. And once the buzz gets out about how good this movie is, if it is good, more people are going to go. You got the nostalgia there. Everyone loves Lion King. I think Lion King is probably the most well-received, known IP of the Disney animated movies. And everyone, girls, guys, mums, dads, grandparents, love The Lion King. We all grew up watching it, and this has the potential to be massive. And for me, I think this is going to make $2 billion. I do see The Lion King making $2 billion. Is it going to get to that 2.1, 2.2 billion? I don't think so. I think it's just either going to hit 2 billion or it's just going to cross 2 billion. And I just don't see it getting any further than that. But there's a potential that I could be wrong here, and The Lion King could could be bigger than the Titanic, bigger than Endgame, bigger than Infinity War, bigger than, I don't think anything's going to catch Avatar anytime soon, but that is what I think. I think Air is the potential for it. Whether or not it gets there is another idea. We're going to have to wait and see how good the movie is. But yeah, I'm saying it's going to make $2 billion and it's going to come in the second spot. And finally, we've hit number 1, and I guess you all know what number 1 is going to be. And that's right, it's Avengers Endgame. Why do I believe this is? Because I haven't seen so much hype for a movie before since The Force Awakens, or even you go far as back as The Phantom Menace. There has not been as much hype for a movie as this. Now the question is, can it catch Avatar? I don't see it catching Avatar. I don't see it making 2.7. I mean, that is a very tough ask to catch that. But I think it is going to pass Titanic. I do. I think Endgame has the potential. I'm going to predict it's going to make 2.5 billion. I think this has the potential to make 2.5. Depending on how good the movie is. If the movie is as good as the Russo brothers have been doing, their track record with Civil War, Winter Soldier, and Infinity War, it's a great track record. And Endgame, I trust them. I trust the Russo brothers and Kevin Feige that they're going to produce a film that everyone's going to love. And I think it's going to have the legs. The opening weekend, I don't see it making 300 domestically. I just don't see it making that. 300 mil is asking a lot because of the runtime. It is 3 hours, so it limits the screens you can do, limits the people in the seats to watch this. So that's going to be the hard thing for them reaching the 300 domestic in opening weekend. But this is going to be a monster movie. There's so much hype to it. Everyone's been waiting for it. I've been waiting a whole year for it. Ever since Thanos won, it's always been like, how are they going to fix this and that? And hopefully there's no cheap ending or anything like that. And we get justice to everything that's happened. All the 21 movies all build up to this one big massive event. And yeah, I don't see how no one is going to go see this movie. I think it's going to make 2.5 billion and it's going to be number 1 at the box office in 2019. So there you have it. That is my 5. Let me know in the comments, who are going to be your ones? I've got Disney as doing the clean sweep. All 5 of them are Disney movies. I don't see Hobbs and Shaw breaking in there. I just don't see how it's going to make that without the actual Fast and Furious cast. I know, you got Rock, Dwayne Johnson, and Jason Statham, and they do pull a lot of fans, but I just don't see it making quite that much. Captain Marvel's made $1 billion. I don't see it getting any more as big. Shazam, it's a new character. I don't see him making $1 billion either, even though it's a fantastic movie. And Spider-Man Far From Home, I don't see it making more than Toy Story 4, unfortunately. But I could be wrong. There is potential that it could make more than that. But they're my 5. Let me know what you think. Tell me, what are your favourites? What are you most anticipated for coming out this year? I know I am. Endgame's only 3 weeks away and I cannot wait. So, have yourselves a lovely day and I'll see you guys in the next video.